Let's go with it. Fullbacks, and let's start with the under 21 best fullbacks. And would you want to start on the left or on the right?
Oh, I was doing them collectively. Top five,
Okay.
baby. Top five collectively. That's what I got prepared for you.
Okay, let's go with it. So, would you like to start with the right box?
Well, I actually have them combined. So
Okay.
I have literally because some of them can play both sides,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Nuno can, but some of them can. Just kidding, just kidding. That's just rude. My number five for you is actually Divine Wrench. Okay.
Okay.
He just scored his first goal for the Aranja on his debut. He also has versatility in the sense that he can play left, he can play right, he can play in the
Mm-hmm.
midfield and all across. And a lot of people are comparing his rise to the rise of Serginho Dest, but saying he did it a whole lot faster. In 10 months' time, he has worked his way into being essentially an Ajax staple. And I just really, really like what I'm seeing so far. It's just a matter of how it gets developed. But come on, 10 months after your Ajax debut, you're already on the pitch for Netherlands, a new Netherlands, right?
Exactly.
So that's my five. What's yours?
Well, my five is a player that's playing here in Portugal, and I'm a big fan of his because I did have not high expectations, but good expectations that it was Pedro Porro coming
Okay,
on loan from Man City. And my days, is this guy the best right back maybe in the Portuguese league already?
fair
Okay.
enough.
And like he should be in the top five for that reason. And I think people will see him in the Champions League and they'll be saying, okay, why why haven't we heard about him? Because this guy is a baller. And the best thing about Pedro Porro that I
Mm.
feel like should be highlighted is the passing ability. He has those crosses that are just hell for the center backs. They just go on the floor, restinho, como dizemos em Portugal, how you hear, restinho against the grass, and you can't, not on the air. He's got a very good kicking arsenal. Okay, so Pedro Porro,
And
I'm
he was
very.
yeah, he was bought by Manchester City, right? He was the one that was loaned out multiple times, and then Sporting
Mm-hmm.
just bought him, right?
Well, I don't know if they bought him already, but like it's a loan. It was a 2 year loan with an obligation to buy after the 2 years. I think it was
Gotcha.
8 million. I'm not sure, but there's an obligation to buy there, and Sporting are gonna for sure get that one.
Sure.
For sure get that one.
Okay.
So you want me to go with the four?
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna go with the four that by the beginning of the transfer window I was seeing a lot of news, and that's Max Aarons
Okay.
of that like the Premier League baller that I'm still surprised he isn't at a top club. Uh, I really thought Max Aarons was gonna go to Bayern Munich. It would
Mhm.
fit very well, but not going. Like I still feel like he's gonna develop very well in the Prem. And do I expect him to see in the national the English side? Well, it's gonna be difficult because of the players that I'm gonna mention ahead. But I'm sure he's gonna be a fantastic option to have. And crosses wise, dribbling ability, super comfortable on the ball. That seems to be a common factor in all these players that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Uh, I like him a lot. I like Max Aarons is in my fourth position.
Yeah, he's one I was shocked that he stayed where, stayed put. So that'll be one to watch for sure. Well, my four, it's going to feel a little biased. And I'm talking about, the Barcelona version of him right now, not quite the US men's national team version. But I'm going to go for Serginho Dest. I don't like him with the national team right now because he's mostly been employed on the left side and he should just be stay at home on the right. But I don't think there's very many players, clearly with him in the top five, that has a similar dribbling ability to him. He's gotten much, much better at one-on-one defending. He's gotten much better at tactical defending and the whole system wide. But when he's in an Ajax setup or he's in a Barcelona setup, he's definitely, in my opinion, top five U21 fullback, Serginho Dest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth on the list, of course. But I think there's such a high window there and it hasn't been properly tapped into. And he's another one. And it could be the Dutch nationality, the fact that he's US Dutch. I think Ronald Koeman can actually get it out of him. assuming he stays healthy. He had a knock the first game. He hasn't had the best when it comes to playing for the U.S. men's national team, but we've already seen glimpses of it for Barcelona. And they've shown by getting rid of Emerson, right? Barcelona has shown faith in that they expect Dest to be their number one moving forward. And that'll be really, really fun to see because I think he's got, as I mentioned before, very, very high ceiling. So 4 for Dest.
There you go. There you go. So you want me to go to with my number 3?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so my number 3 is this top 3 is so difficult to do. Okay, this might be the most difficult top 3 to do in terms of debates because I do feel they're all very leveled, the 3 players you're going to mention. But I'm going to say the Champions League winner, Reece James. I do feel like he's the most complete of the 3 options, okay, that I'm going to mention. But I don't think he's the best player of the 3. And Reece James, like, I want to be, and I can only be positive about Reece James because he's a fantastic player and he's got it all, as I mentioned. But I do feel like the player that I put ahead of him, that is Trent, he's got an extra inch offensively, okay? And defensively, you can tacticians wise, you can compensate because the offensive power is just too good. So my number 3 is Reece James.
Oh,
So I love him, man, but yeah.
No, I agree. I think you're right. The top 3 here is all within a game of inches, right? They're all within each other. And my 3 you're not gonna like. But it is Nuno Mendes. And the reason why I'm picking 3 here is because I haven't yet seen him. I have to see him starting a Champions League final. Okay. But here's what I am going to say about Nuno Mendes. You know him better than I do, but from what I've watched, he's the best crosser out of the 5 I'm going to mention. That's for sure. He's likely the most sound defensively off of the 5 I'm going to mention. But we know obviously wingback / fullbacks. It's a changing game these days in terms of how they're employed. But I think I have to see more. I know you have seen him a whole lot. But he hasn't even hit 50 appearances in world football yet, so it's not a knock on him. It's just that I don't have the full sample size. PSG does. They also have a whole lot of money to spend. But we will get to see him more. And that's why this PSG move is so important moving forward. But yeah, I mean, he's only on 48 or 49 actual appearances so far as a 19-year-old. Like, why was he such a late bloomer? Could you enlighten me or educate?
Wait. So you're saying an 18-year-old is a late bloomer?
Well, he's 19, and he
was 18 when he played for Sporting.
Well, that's true, but he only played 48. I mean, you're talking about Alphonso Davies at 20 has.
I get you. I get you putting like the
double the amount.
No, as you should. You should put the leveling of the Davies with the Nunmensch as like on the like I understand, but. Trust me, with those 40 games as a sample, you're going to see a player that defensively you're not going to see too much around. And Davis does have unbearable pace for any person that has to defend on him. But Nunbench has an unbearable physique that's going to defend upon you. Okay? One-on-one, people know Marega here. And Marega is a huge player. And Nunbench at 18 was stopping Marega. Properly. Ligue 1 is they're gonna get ready. But so you were right. You got all of the fullbacks on top merged. So I want everyone to understand that I had a left back and a right back list. So I'm gonna put like the Reece James 3rd. Okay. So I'm gonna put 2nd. So guys understand in the right back list, I'm gonna put 2nd Hakimi and 1st Trent. But given so that we're doing top 5 best, I'm going to put on the 3 spot Fonzie Davis. Why am I going to put in the 3 spot? Because the 2 I had I feel is better again. But Fonzie Davis had something that happened that was the injury. And he did come back and he's showing that it didn't settle upon him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough knot in the statistic points of view that you love to mention there. But yeah, let's see. I like him, but I don't think Bayern Munich, I don't think he'll be enough of a weapon to win the Champions League. So
You mean again?
let's see.
Because he already has one, and he started a Champions League final, and so did Reece
Yeah,
James.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, and
still,
they both won the Champions League too. But you're right. I mean, I would highlight Alphonso Davies, the torn ankle ligament, coming back from that and regaining his spot in one of the best clubs in world football as definitely a shining moment, while also trying to lead a fledgling country to its first World Cup in a very long time. So, I. Maybe I'm a little CONCACAF biased here in terms of favoring some North American clubs and watching him come up as a 15-year-old. But maybe that's my feeling in that, the way you feel about Nuno Mendes, I feel about Alfonso. I remember him stepping on the field as a 15-year-old, right? And watching his ascendancy, watching him get sold there and saying he's going to get buried at Bayern Munich. And then he doesn't. And the kid's got personality for days. The kid's got like relatability for days. And I think we're seeing that. So yeah, if he stays healthy, you can probably already see who my number one is. But now I'm a little confused on what I sent out
mm,
U21 fullbacks, but now
got you.
we're adding
I got you.
U23s in there.
I got you. Exactly. Because
Okay.
I had a list with under 21s, but yeah,
Okay.
you're right. You're right there. I'm cheating. I'm cheating.
Okay. Well, let me go through. Here's my top 5 young U21 fullbacks in the world. 5 is
Okay.
Divine Wrench. 4 is Serginho Dest. 3 is Nuno Mendes. 2 is Reece James. 1 is Alphonso Davies. All 5 of those are 21 or under. Okay. Now, if you add Hakimi, or you add
Mm.
Trent, or you add anyone above that, well, things get a little more interesting. What would your top 5 be? Yes, mixing left and right backs. What would your top 5 be? You just said it, I believe, but maybe you could restate it for
So no,
U23s.
I did another top five with fullbacks and right backs under 23, and
Okay.
my top five would have Hakimi on the
Yeah.
fifth position. On the fourth position, I'd put Reece James.
Okay.
On the third position, I'd put Alfonso Davis, because you mentioned that Champions League run. I still can't forget it, but the injury, I still feel about that. Number 2, I'm gonna put the guy that's the boldest guy on earth, Noon Minch, the top left back. No, but no joke. Like, people are gonna see why. I called it now against Man City, PSG Man City, 28th of September. We're gonna see if we can do something to make it happen live on Twitch, guys. So let's see if something's gonna happen there, and you're gonna see why Noon is top 2. So
But
and my number 1, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I do think the crosses of Trent are immaculate, and he's the only player in the top 5 players that I mentioned here that has a signature move, and that's the cross. Like, Trent's cross is immaculate. It's one of the best crosses, not just in game, but in recent game. I know people could say, "Oh, he does so many," but he does so many because they work. So I'm gonna put Trent on number 1, and I'm sorry for the confusion, guys, but
no. And with that, if I'm gonna add U23s in, I mean, the only you're not gonna be happy with mine, but 5 for me is Reece James. 4, I have to have Teo in there. Okay.
who?
Teo Hernandez.
Teo Hernandez. Sorry.
Yep. 3 is
Sorry.
Fonzie Davies. 2 is Hakimi. I don't know why you and I have a little disconnect on Hakimi in terms of where they lie, which I suppose is understandable. And my number 1 is Trent, and I'm not gonna disrespect what he brings to the table for Liverpool. Obviously, there is an element of him needing a proper setup to get the most efficiency out of what he brings to the table. And he's still got a lot to improve upon, but he's just next level when it comes to creating chances. And that's absolutely vital to Liverpool right now. And clearly England, if he's, going to be their right back moving forward. So, or his center midfielder. One of the coolest things I saw the other day was England Andorra was, I believe Trent was in midfield.
Yeah.
Reece James right back, and they switched for a while. And I'm like, man, this is This is fun. I'd like to see more of this. But anyway, James, Teo, Davies, Trent. I'm sorry, Hakimi, and then Trent as our number one. So we're aligned. We're aligned
We
there.
really don't think alike with Hakimi though. I think Reece James. I'm saying like a Portuguese person. People are gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna say like a Portuguese person. People. Reece
Yeah,
James, not
I'm gonna.
Reece James. Like I don't
Yeah,
know how a Portuguese person would say Reece James.
wait till I start doing it. Yeah,
But Reece James, I do think he's better than Hakimi though, because the big the big thing with Hakimi is defensively, man.
yeah.
With Conte, in Conte's system, I think it works out very well. But now with Poch, I think Nun Minj is gonna look better than Hakimi. I'm
Could
gonna
be.
go bold. Nun Minj is gonna look better than Hakimi this season. That's a bold prediction right there, because Hakimi
It is.
is rated much better than Nun Minj.
Yeah, and he's off to a
So.
good start. He's off to a good start this season. So it'll be. Nuno got his first minutes right recently
Mm-hmm.
against Claremont, coming off the bench, and we will get a larger sample size moving forward. And I'm just hoping on September 28th everybody sees what you see. But we'll see. And that's what we also have to bring up. I don't think we have time to talk about it, but hey, UEFA Champions League starts this week, and near and dear to our heart, even though it hasn't been around too long, the UEFA Youth League also starts this week. And I don't think we have time to run through those that we want to watch or have to watch, but we will definitely do it next week after the first games have gotten underway. But hey, it's like everywhere you look, right? Football, 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 and I wouldn't have it any other way right now.
Exactly. That's the way to end up. You can't have any other way, mate. And I like to end up too saying thank you everyone who's supporting us on TikTok. Like just the fact that we're coming to a studio, to a place, not a
Yeah.
studio, making it a studio, and it's all happening because of you guys. And I'm incredibly grateful that I have the chance. We have the chance to like make something out of this. And
Yeah.
yeah, guys, like this hoodie too. Watch out. Watch out. Something's gonna come up. And yeah, thank you.